So at the end of 2022, I welcomed a beautiful baby girl, and like any new parent, my life changed for the better in an instant. But it has also made me quickly take stock of what I was doing professionally, and I realised that a few things had to change. Mainly that now I needed to think about my little one's future, not just my own. Now, I'm bullish on what the Web3 space can do for me, so why not use that to my advantage and her advantage too? Because the things that I do now might just unlock a huge opportunity by the time she reaches 18 or even sooner. So in this video, I'm going to take you through 5 Web3 things that I'm doing to use this new iteration of the internet to help build a bright future for my next iteration. And the great thing is that you can do it too and get started today. So speaking of kids, when planning for what I'm doing in the long term, the first thing I did was look to the younger generation, my niece and nephew, for example, who are already master builders in things like Roblox and Minecraft. Why is this important, you might ask? Well, Web3 is something that is constantly changing and evolving, and to get ahead in it, we need to understand and adapt along with it. So if you think about it, kids are going to be the future of Web3, and they're already light years ahead of us adults anyway, because whilst they're building and having fun in their games, they're picking up those habits and becoming native to it as well. So to educate and plan my family's future in the space, I have to look at what sparks their interest and understand how they're communicating with each other. And what you'll find is that as soon as you start to talk the next generation's language, you'll also start to learn how to engage with your customer base of the future, ready to make those all-important moves to secure a strong future. Now, it costs absolutely nothing to be prepared for what the future of the metaverse holds. It can pay off dividends if you plan how you're going to be a part of it. If it pans out the way people are talking about the metaverse right now, then we'll see our digital twins, which literally means a twin of you in the digital space living and working in it. So it pays to start thinking about how you can apply your in real life skills or IRL skills to a digital space so that you're ahead of the curve. So for me, to make sure that I secure some smart investments that I can then pass down to my little one, I see an obvious digital twin in the form of real estate. Literally buying plots of land in the metaverse. Why? Well, if you think about it, buying land digitally works in a very similar way to buying land in real life. You can build on a piece of land, you can rent it out, you can even live digitally in it, and it's a lot easier for you to build anything you want. So if you can dream it, you can build it. Or you can pay a metaverse architect too, of course. And guess what? You can even earn from it too. In fact, one major metaverse called Decentraland is already letting you rent out your land in exchange for its own cryptocurrency called Mana. And that's a smart move which sees you earning rent and potentially through a profitable coin too. And remember, that all goes towards building that perfect little nest egg. Smart. Now, before I had my daughter, I could be a bit risky, and I looked at NFTs as a huge opportunity for the future, and I still stand by that. The technology alongside the blockchain is going to power a huge amount of the way we go about our everyday lives in the not too distant future. However, as with any disruptive new technology, it went through and still will go through waves of turbulence. During the 2021 hype, that turbulence looked like a gold rush, with projects going from sky high to rock bottom. So now, as I'm thinking about building a future for my daughter in Web3, the projects I follow and ultimately invest in are more well-researched and have a few key traits to look out for when conducting my all-important due diligence before I part with any hard-earned cash. Number 1, projects, even from big brands, might not actually be a good investment. Just because they're well known in real life does not mean that they know what they're doing in Web3. Number 2, is the roadmap for that project not just ambitious, but is it actually feasible? Number 3, is the team behind the project credible, doxed, and with a good track record? And number 4, am I willing to take the risk? These traits are just a few questions that I ask myself, among many others, to make sure I'm making the right investment. Which leads me onto my next point. One thing I am massively guilty on is being way too bullish in the space, almost to the point of naivety.
So this is a public service announcement
to say that in this game of unpredictability, nothing is certain. And if you're riding high on a good investment, take profit. Because before you know it, it could drop right down again. So make sure you actually enjoy all the hard work you're putting in. Also, if I can afford to, if I really think I've bought the right NFT, I always try to buy more than one so I can try and benefit from both a long and short-term hold. Let's just say in the near future, daycare for my little one isn't going to be cheap and I need to try and save up. And that brings me on to my final point. Finally, this is the most important point for me, particularly when future-proofing everything for my daughter. And it's also the thing that you can do right now, and it's building your career in this space. If you want to know how I'm doing that and how you can do it too, then check out this video as it takes you through all the simple steps that you can take to really start building out a career either inside your current workplace or as someone completely new.